Spread out the fingers in between. Root down fingerprints, finger pads, including the thumb pad and the pointer pad. See if you can roll your elbow creases forward. So as our hands are rooted, wrists under shoulders, fingers spreading wide. This might be too much on the wrists and hands at some point, so you can always come into fists or forearms. Still working some of these other principles up the arms. So if you're in your hands, wrists are below shoulders. And then as if you could shine the elbow creases forward, roll those elbow creases forward. And then as if there was a block between your forearms, squeeze in on those forearms. So there's an inward stabilization in the shoulders to really lock in and find stable arms. And the knees are below the hips. So this is a sneaky way of stretching out your hands if you have tightness in wrists and hands. Make sure you're still breathing. Elbows drawing in and forward, shoulders wrapping down and around the sides. Good. And once you find that heat building, draw the inner thighs together, lengthen the tail back and the crown forward, pull the heart through, inhaling, and then exhale, round the spine, tuck the tail, start to wiggle the spine out. Inhale to lift the tail, lift the heart, find cow pose. So we'll hold cow pose for a few breaths, rolling the elbow creases forward, drawing the collarbones wide away from one another, crown of the head reaching out, tail reaching up and back, and let the belly, let your udders hang out. Breathing, inhale, get long. And then exhale, tuck the tail, tucking the chin, rounding the back, pull the shoulder blades apart, and then inhale, cow, hang out the udders, pull the heart through, lift the tail. Exhale, round and tuck. A few more times, inhaling, lift and lengthen. Exhale, tuck and round. Inhaling, exhaling. Last time, inhale, exhale. Good, and then sit the hips back toward the heels. Come onto the forearms, flip the palms up, and take a quick break, just rolling out the wrists, shaking out the hands. Great, and whenever you feel ready, just coming back up onto the hands and knees. And now we'll come to the forearms. So take the forearms down, prayer hands together. And our elbows are a little ahead of our shoulders now. And our knees kind of start to separate, walk back. And we just slowly begin to lower the chest as the hips lift up and back. So we just start to lower, coax in. We might just take our time depending on how this feels. Some of us have a lot of mobility here, so we can drop all the way down, lifting the tail up and back as we root down from wrists and elbows all the way up and back to the hips. If you have more room in the hands, you might turn the palms up and walk the elbows together. So you're making an offering, rolling those pinkies toward one another, backs of the hands coming toward one another, elbows staying together, but just rooting into elbows enough that you can reach hips up and back, getting longer in your side body. Softer at the back of the heart between the shoulder blades, getting softer between the shoulder blades. Slowly, maybe the head rests on the biceps, lowering into the shape. So this is one where you can really take your time, coaxing your way in and out, not having to get anywhere. And then inhaling, lift the tail. Exhale to come all the way forward. Hands plant. Shake out the tail. Tuck the back toes under and just start to walk your hands back as you keep those toes tucked under. So you might have to catch your pinky toe, but we're just going to stretch into the feet a little bit. So this might be very aggravating. It might make you really warm. So just breathing into this place, into the toes. Your escape route is just to come back forward and just, you might come all the way back. You might have enough room so you can come all the way up, sitting up on the heels, toes are still tucked under. And if you're up here, you could escape by just standing up on the knees and coming back down. So we'll clasp the hands behind the back, reach the knuckles down toward the heels, lift the heart up. If you want to play around, reach the knuckles back. Keep lifting the heart up, opening it. Good, and then release the clasp, let the shoulders roll forward, shake out the shoulders. We're still here in our toes pose. Roll out the wrists a little bit, so clasp the hands and do some disco ball. Take the arms, push them out to the sides like you're between two walls. Reach from armpits out the heels of the hands. And just slowly drop pinky finger, ring finger, middle, pointer. Wrap the thumb, point the fist down, reach from the shoulders out the wrists. Good, and then shake out the arms. Take the awkward clasp of your hands behind the back, reach the knuckles down. Lift the heart up. Feeling the heat building. Start to reach the knuckles out and away. Maybe pull the elbows apart so we broaden more across the collarbones. Good. And then just gently, releasing the clasp, releasing your toes pose to come forward and give yourself a round of applause. Tap the toes. Great. And then gently just step the feet forward. So 1 foot at a time, coming forward. And we're just going to hang in a forward fold. So first option is to have elbows on the thighs above the knees. Call this one public toilet pose. You could hang out here. And from here, if you start to feel more opening and more softening in the spine, then you just start to lift the tail and sort of tip forward. So it's more of a tipping forward and lifting of the pelvis than it is rounding of the back. And once you feel like you can, you might just hang here and let the arms create a little bit more weight. You could use hands on a support here underneath the fingertips. And the weight should be more distributed toward the front of the feet. Yeah. And so while we're here, let's practice some actions that can help elongate the back of the body. So many of us have trouble folding forward. Let's come up using these props. You could come onto fingertips or you could come onto these props. Bend the knees. And when you inhale, just like we did in cow pose on the floor, let your belly hang down and let your tail lift up behind you. So feel that length like your cow. Pull the heart up and through. So we create this nice slope in the back and a lift of the tail. So we're really lifting here at the tail. And the knees have to be bent in order to do that action in the pelvis. Keep that lift in the tail, just like you're in cow, but only difference is now the spine just starts to fold in. So tail is still lifted, but I'm just folding in, lowering down, keeping that lift of my tail. 3 more breaths. Great. As you inhale this time, you could walk the hands up the legs, keep the head heavy, and just kind of let yourself come on up. Let the blood settle once you get up to your feet. Great. And we'll take some movements that are kind of one breath, one movement to kind of get our system going, and then we'll finish with lying on the back. So we could get rid of this blanket for now. You have it handy just in case you want to drop your knee and it's too uncomfortable. But we'll start at the top of our mat. I'm just going to face the camera, but you're at the top of your mat. Your toes are spread out, so plant down your pinky toe and then stretch your big toe as far away from it as possible, and then set it back down and then let your toes come down. Root down in the big toe. Let your heels sort of draw toward one another as your big toes draw back, creating this inward and outward spiraling in the thighs, kind of a simultaneous action down there. lifting from the heart. Reaching from the crown of the head. And then this time as you inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, reach the arms up, rise all the way. Exhale, hands to the heart. 2 more times, just like that. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reach and rise. Hands to the heart, exhaling. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach and rise up. Exhale to the heart. Good. This time, inhale. And then exhale, come to the right side. So just sway over so the arms are reaching up and over to the right. Keep rooting down left foot. And then just play with your rib cage here. Roll the rib cage forward and back. Noticing this whole side body. Inhale, get longer. And then exhale, come through center. Inhale, reach the right arm up and over to the left. Root down into the right foot as you explore the whole rib cage on the right side, rolling forward and back. Good. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, come through center. Inhale, reach to the sky. And exhale, fold over. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, come all the way back down. And then place your hands on your supports here, whatever you're using, and take the right leg straight back behind you. And using these blocks so that you feel like you can breathe and you have some space in the chest. So activating the front knee over the front heel, rooting down into the back balls of toes as the heel gets up high, and then pull that right hip into the socket. Find your nice, strong, stable lunge here. And then for 3 breaths, inhale, reach the heart forward. And then exhale, lower the back knee about 1 inch above the floor. Inhale, lift the knee, reach the heart. Exhale, lower the knee, lift the heart. Inhale, extend and extend. Exhale, lower and lift the heart. 1 more time, inhaling. And then exhale, step the right foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the left leg back. So setting up for a moment, right knee above the right heel, right leg extended, balls of the toes are on the floor, heel is high, left hip is pulling in towards center, front heel is rooting down. Finding a sense of length from the back heel out the crown of the head. Good. And for 3 breaths, we'll just go exhale here. And inhale to drop the knee and lift the heart.